Thank you so much. Thank you all. Let's hear it for the Overflow crowd. I'm telling you, I'm so proud of you all. I thank you all very much, from the President and the Vice President. I am Dick Riley, the Secretary of Education, and I'll tell you, as the President's Secretary of Education, I'm honored to be here with the President and the Vice President in what we in Washington call a world-class university. That's what you have. In today's exciting world, balancing the demands of work and of home can sometimes leave us strung out and worn out and even out of sorts. Too many American parents, however, wake up every single day wondering whether their son or daughter goes to a school that's falling down or whether it's a sound construction, gets enough attention from an overworked teacher in a large classroom, has a safe haven after school. Too many families think college is out of reach. Each of those issues really goes to the heart of what we all want America's children to have: good schools, quality education, and above all, a safe environment. We must continue to find ways to help students and families pay for college. We live in a time when education is more important to our economy and to our future prosperity than ever before in the history of this country. Ensuring that we have high-quality schools, access to college, are matters of national interest. So it's our duty to America's students of all ages. Now, to tell you more about our new education initiatives, I'm pleased to introduce a great American leader who understands where America is headed and what we need to do to get there, my friend, the Vice President Al Gore.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Are you fired up? I'll tell you what, I haven't heard a cheer like that since Illinois beat Michigan. You would have thought Kevin Turner and Chickababwe were introduced up here. Listen, did you hear the speech at the warm-up event? We wanted to get up a little speed and momentum for this one, the main event. Thank you for being here. I can't tell you what it means to us to have this enormous turnout and the wonderful enthusiasm that you're expressing in your cheers and your clapping and your welcome and your support of the ideas and the agenda of President Bill Clinton. Thank you for being here. We are in a battle for the future of this country, and we need your help. We want to invest more in education and the environment and health care and people for the future and your future in the 21st century. This president is putting before our nation a set of proposals that will make it possible for you to be the best prepared and best educated generation in American history, but we have to convince the Congress and the whole country to support the ideas that President Clinton presented in his State of the Union speech last night. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we came here because you know in your hearts that these ideas and proposals are good for this country, and we wanted to hear directly from you the kind of expressions that you're giving us here today. And with that, let me just say that I am proud to be here with you in standing by and supporting the person who is leading us to the 21st century, and I present him to you now, President William Jefferson Clinton.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Let me first of all, thank you. Let me ask you a question. Did you see the event in the other place? One fellow over here said, yeah, you don't have to say anything again. It was great. Well, I want to thank Secretary Riley and thank the Vice President, but mostly let me tell you, we are overwhelmed at the crowd that has come out today. Here, 5,000 people here. There's another 3,500 people in another room. I'm overwhelmed by it, and I thank you very much. But look, here's the bottom line. Here's the bottom line. For 5 years, we have worked basically on two things. First of all, we tried to get the country in shape, in good shape, so that it just works in a good way for people. And secondly, we tried to get the American people to imagine the future, to think about the 21st century, to think about what kind of country we want this to be and how we're going to build it. Now that we have the lowest unemployment in 24 years, the lowest inflation in 30 years, the highest home ownership ever, record drops in welfare, 5 years of dropping crime, things are pretty well in shape. We need to be thinking about the future. And that's what I tried to talk about last night. We need a future in which all these areas that have been left behind in the economic recovery have a chance to educate their children well, to have their kids on safe streets, to have jobs in places that have never been there. We need a future like that. We need a future. And we need a future that you can help us with, younger people especially can help us with, a future where we understand that our future is tied to the rest of the world, and we have to work in cooperation with other countries. And it doesn't make us weaker, it makes us stronger when we reach out a hand of friendship to Africa, to Latin America, to Asia, to all these other countries, and we work together to go forward. We have to understand that. We need a future in which we understand, we believe that America can lead the world in growing an economy and not only saving but actually improving our natural environment. We can cure this problem of global warming and grow the economy. Young people believe that. America has to believe that, and you have to make it happen. And finally, we need a future in which we really believe that education is for everyone. We have worked so hard. You heard us talking about it in the other room. We worked so hard to make it possible for every young person in this country to go on to college. And you have to tell people who are coming along behind you, you can do it. Don't be discouraged. That little baby in your arms can go to college. Every baby in this country, I want to be able to go to college. We have to figure out a way when the Vice President and when our generation retires, the so-called baby boomers, we provide for a system that preserves our retirement, guarantees it for the 20 and 30-year-olds today, and doesn't bankrupt you. We can do that if you'll help us do it next year. And the last thing I want to say is this.
And in some ways, this may be more important than anything else. America, look at this crowd here today. Look at you, look at each other. Now, we got people who are young and not so young. We have people who are in wheelchairs and people who may play varsity athletics. We have people from every conceivable racial and ethnic group here in what you used to think of as homogenous, Champaign-Urbana. Why is that? Because America is changing. We're becoming more and more and more diverse. Now, a lot of the time that Al Gore and I spend is working for you, we're out there worrying about these ethnic problems in Bosnia, or religious and ethnic differences in the Middle East, or old hatreds in Ireland, or tribal warfare in Africa. And we still see examples of horrible discrimination from time to time in America. But you know, if you just look around this room, this is our meal ticket to the future, our diversity and sharing values, believing in each other, believing in the fundamental unity of human nature. It's our meal ticket to the future. You can make one America, and I want you to help us make one America for a new century. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Wow. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I am so proud to be here and so glad to be with you. Thank you. You can't imagine what good it does me and the President to hear that warm welcome from all of you. We appreciate it more than we can tell you. Thank you very much. And incidentally, are y'all ready for Ohio State tonight? Well, we're ready for the future of this country. And the agenda President Clinton presented to our nation last night is a blueprint for success and prosperity in the 21st century. Let me just mention one item that we didn't talk about this morning in the two warm-up events for this event. And that is, how many of you here are in managed care plans? Could I see a show of hands? There are a lot of students here, I know, but I see lots and lots of hands. What the President said last night is part of a discussion our country is going to be having this year, thanks to his leadership and his initiative, and that is that medical decisions should not be made by accountants and actuaries. Medical decisions should be made by medical specialists, and patients should have rights. But let me just say, that is only one example of the philosophy and approach that this president has been taking to securing our nation's future for the 21st century. He believes that we need to empower our people with opportunities and expect responsibility in the return, and community obligations that all of us share must be emphasized if we're going to make our nation strong. And he believes that education is the place to start, and this campus illustrates why it's so important. Ladies and gentlemen, our nation is doing well because this president is leading us well. We are proud to be with you. Please join me in welcoming and supporting and standing by President Bill Clinton.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. First of all, thank you for coming, and thank you for waiting. I'm sorry you had to wait so long. Thank you. I want to thank Secretary Riley and the Vice President, and I also want to thank your Congressman, Congressman Tom Ewing, for coming along with me. Let's give him a big hand. We have had an incredible day at the University of Illinois, an incredible day. You know, this is the third meeting we've been to. You had to sit through the other two, didn't you? Is that okay? This reminds me, I hate to give the same speech over, but once I went to a concert where Tina Turner sang. You all know who Tina Turner is? And at the end of the concert, after singing all her new songs, she started to sing her first hit, Proud Mary, and the crowd started clapping, and she said, I have been singing this song for 25 years, but it gets better every time I do it. But I'm not going to give you the whole dose again. I want to just make 2 points very briefly. Number one, the Vice President and I and our administration, we've worked very hard these last 5 years to get America in good shape, to have this country work again for ordinary people. And I think you can see from the condition of the economy and from the fact that we're making real progress on our social problems and from our work in the world at large that we're making that kind of progress. Now is the time we need to be thinking about what the 21st century will look like for all the young people here. And that means a commitment to education for everybody all the way through college. It means a commitment to the idea that we can preserve and improve our environment while we grow the economy. It means a commitment to the idea that we can reform Social Security so that the big baby boom generation that I'm the oldest member of can retire without putting unfair burdens on those of you who are younger and your children. And it means that we can find a way in our increasingly diverse country to come together across all the lines that divide us into one America. Because in a global society, believe you me, a great democracy like ours that can accommodate people of every race, every background, every religion, and still be bound together by shared values is the most blessed place on earth. Our best days are ahead of us as a nation. And we are here. We are here today to ask you to stand with us in that fight, to imagine that kind of future and to be a part of it. And I am very grateful to you for coming out. Thank you, and God bless you. I want to go shake hands. Thank you.